What is going on, everybody? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2024. Please be good to us. So we just wanted to make this video today talking about who we are. Who is Khyle and Ashley? What is our story? Yesterday, January 1st, was our 10-year anniversary. 10 years of being together, almost 7 years married. So really excited about that. So we just wanted to get into it and just explain more about who we are and where we met and all of that fun stuff. So I'm gonna let Baby take it away from the beginning because she remembers more of the beginning than I do.
So we met at Starbucks. We worked together. He transferred to the Starbucks that we met at, and you just wanted to...
It wasn't going so well for me at my other Starbucks. Maybe in another video I'll talk more about my past, but I was just really struggling at that Starbucks, and it wasn't fitting in, and it was time for a change. And luckily, Starbucks allows for easy transfers, and one day I went to go just help out at the Starbucks that she works at, and I met a couple people, and they were really nice, and I was like, well, I'll transfer here and work with you guys then. And the first meeting, I saw her sitting there, and I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble. And it all started from there.
And I think I was like 19 turning 20, and I got the job there because I really never went to Starbucks too much, but the guy I was with at the time liked to go, so we went to that Starbucks, and the lady that was the manager there, she was doing like the checkout and getting the drinks and stuff, and she was like, I love your personality, do you want a job? And I was like, okay, but I wasn't sure at the time that I wanted another job because I was already a swim instructor for little kids, so but then I decided I should probably just do it. So I got the job there, and then we met at that meeting, and then that whole year we were working together, and we would close at night together all the time, which was awesome. And then sometimes we would open together too, but it was mostly those night shifts when we would close that we would really talk a lot, and then he would play his music over the speakers, and I would fall in love with all that he is, and all the music that he loved. And I called him, he looks like John Mayer, so, and then he plays guitar too, so I just thought that was incredible. And even though I was with the other guy at the time, I was really having a hard time with him, so I was getting over it really fast. And then I started to fall in love with him, and he was becoming my best friend, and I just wanted to, we had towels that we'd clean with there, so I would put a towel in his apron all the time, and just things like that started to happen, and that's when I knew I was in trouble. I wanted to be with him. Oh, and I was a weirdo. So we would hang up our jackets in the back, or I had little cubbies, lockers, and he had this cologne, the Boss cologne, and I would just smell it. I love the way he smells and just everything about him. And I saw his last name on the computer, and for some reason something just told me that last name would mean it something to me. And now it's my last name, and we're married. and then the other thing, this sounds crazy, but I love his hands so much, and that was one of the things that God was telling me to look for. And I love love his hands, so that was one of the signs too. And then
when we would go to like work hangout things,
yeah,
I think that was another big thing.
that was a big thing, because when we went to Buffalo Wild Wing, or no, not Buffalo, it was Dave and Buster's that one time all together, and then you paid for my food and stuff, and then we both
Saddle Ranch.
Oh, at Saddle Ranch too. Yeah, we went together. Yeah, we would call each other's dates, so we could get away with that.
So if Ashley's going, then I'll have a date. Ashley will be my date.
Yeah.
She still had a boyfriend at the time, but I didn't care. When you know, you know.
It's
so
true.
I just didn't care. And it was my little way of, planting the seed.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, that night at Saddle Ranch when she saw me riding the electric bull, I think that might have done something.
Don't even get me started. I was like, oh damn.
It was my first time riding an electric bull at that bar. And I did a pretty good job. I made it look nice.
You did.
But yeah, little stuff like that. And then to kind of wrap up, like the first, like our initial part, one of our coworkers told me that Ashley was starting to think about cheating on her boyfriend, but she didn't want to. She's a good girl. She's not going to do that. But she was starting to think about it and struggle with that thought. And immediately I told him, she's talking about me. And I just knew. And there should not be any questions. You should just know. You shouldn't be like, do they? I don't know. There shouldn't be any uncertainty. You should just know. You should know before anything is said. You should just start. If you're aware, if you have half a brain, you should be picking up on these signals, looking for signals, listening, guys, listening. You need to listen and pay attention to her, because girls give you a lot of non-verbal signals, and they give you a lot of energy that you have to pick up on. Guys are we're straight shooters. We will tell you, and we think other people are just going to tell us, and that's not how women operate. You got to be a little more intuitive and a little more in tune with them. And if you can't do that, something's going to be off from the beginning, and it's just not going to work. And I just knew when he told me that, I was like, it's me. And after that, there was a girl that came to visit me one time.
Oh.
And that... I actually didn't like that very much. So
I hated it.
So little things like that. And then I don't know what happened. I started giving her these long hugs. Just the hugs. The hugs really sealed the deal. If you know how to give a good hug, it goes a long way. So those, like, just making connections like that. Just like when you hug somebody and you feel their body and their energy, you should be able to tell. You should be able to know. And I don't know. After we started hanging out, we just were inseparable, basically. Once that green light showed up where we could just hang out all the time, we were inseparable. And then I remember, so this is a little secret. We like to say that our anniversary is on the 1st, but I originally asked her to be my girlfriend on December 13th. But she had just broken up with her boyfriend. It had just been a couple weeks, and it was too soon. And she was just like, I don't know, it's too soon. She's like, I don't think my mom's gonna like it. And so we just waited. And then we were sitting there together on New Year's, and I was like, this is the perfect time. New Year's is the perfect time. As the ball was dropping, and the countdown and everything, I was like, this is the perfect time. 1, it's an easy day to remember for anniversaries. 2, it's really special. And ever since that moment, we've just really been inseparable. When she became my girlfriend, she essentially just started living with my mom and I. And so that was funny how that just naturally started to happen. She just, maybe in another video, Ashley will talk about things, but she was struggling with going home, to sum it up, and she would rather be with me and my mom at our apartment than go home. It's just too much. So for that, pretty much that whole year, she was just always with me. And around September of 2014, we were just like, I don't know. Her and I are the oldest. We've always felt like the black sheep in our family. I'm pretty much a feral child and family member. I do whatever I want. We just kind of always felt like outsiders, like we didn't fit in, like we were just on our own. And we were really feeling that in September, and she was tired of dealing with home stuff. I was tired of living with my mom, and I wanted to make my dream come true of moving to Washington. And so in 2015, we moved up to Washington. I transferred Starbucks, she transferred Olive Gardens, and we just moved up to Olympia, Washington, and started our own life together, all by ourselves. We didn't know anybody. We didn't have any family. It was just us. And that's when this next chapter and adventure started for us. We started going on all these road trips to see Washington because I wanted to see everything. And all of these adventures started to lead up to more and more ideas of how do we get to do this all the time? How can we figure out a way to make money so we can live on the road? And we tried so many different things. We tried network marketing, we tried starting a blog, we tried starting clothing companies, a lot of different things. We tried learning about real estate, and none of them, like, after a while, were truly us. Like, we were forcing it, and you don't want to force it. Like, you want it to be true to yourself, and we just couldn't really figure that out. So we just kind of got stuck making a lot of bad decisions, trying to figure out the quickest way to make money online instead of have a game plan and think things through, plan for the future. So on our road trips, if you know Washington, around the Olympic Peninsula, it's just so beautiful. And we would see these RV parks, we would see all these camping spots, and we would just like talk all the time about how can we do this full time? How can we make this a reality? And it just never clicked for us. It just never came to fruition. We were just chasing after the wrong things. We were chasing after get rich quick schemes, or make it happen super fast. And that's not how life works the majority of the time. And this plan of living in a car, living in a van, living on the road has been 6 solid years in the making. 6 years of planning. And for it to be coming true now, when we're ready, when we're more mentally prepared, when we have things more planned out, it's a lot more, it feels a lot better.
Mm-hmm. We've grown a lot inside. Like, we feel like we can handle that a lot better now.
And thanks to Washington, thanks to pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zones to go somewhere else where we don't know anybody, we had to learn so many different things. We had to work with managers who made our lives hell, and learn how to stick it out because we had to survive. And where we live, there was really not very much opportunity, and you don't realize that until you go there. We moved somewhere where we never went before. Like, we like to do some really unorthodox, wild things and make some crazy decisions. So welcome to the channel. It's probably going to continue. And just like so much like life college. Like, we didn't go to school, we didn't go to college. Like, we went to college for a while, but we didn't like commit to getting our masters and bachelors and all that stuff. Like, we went to life school, which is moving away somewhere for 5 years on your own and learning about the real world. And that's exactly what we did. We took a lot of psychedelics in Washington. We haven't brought that up yet. We've done a lot of psychedelics.
Yeah.
And that taught us a lot about ourselves. It really helped with our depression, our anxiety, and how we look at ourselves, how we look at the future and the world around us. And it really, really impacted us in profound ways. It really helped with all the bad thoughts. It really helped kind of massage things out, work through some things. It was scary. It was hard. I actually thought she was going to die. But in those moments, that's when you grow the most. A lot of people call it ego death. We definitely experienced that.
Yeah, it's not like a literal death. It's like the ego, and like you break down all the blocks that are inside, and then you finally can like release your true self, pretty much.
And it's been a long 10 years in like experience, but the time has gone by so incredibly fast. And I'm so grateful that I found my best friend that I get to marry, that I get to spend the rest of my life with. This is who we are. We like to go on adventures and road trips and see parts of the country that other people don't think about going to or want to go to but never get around to going to. That's what we want to do. We like to do things that other people question, like, is that smart? Or I would never be able to do that. It sounds too scary for me. Well, for us, it sounds right. Yeah. And it might be unorthodox. It might not be the traditional way of doing things. We got married in a courtroom surrounded by some of our coworkers in Olympia, Washington. Like, our family wasn't there. Our family didn't come. And that's for reasons that are left in the past, thank goodness. And we're all moved on and are in better places now for the most part with all of that. But that's just us. We're just content with it being just us two. We really struggle with asking for help because we asked for a lot of help when we moved up to Washington originally. A lot of help. We needed a lot of help. And we don't want to resort back to that, and we made a commitment to never resorting back to needing help. And we've grown up together. Like,
we really have.
We've been together her whole 20s. And before that, like, we didn't get into it that much in this video, but she didn't like do very much as a teenager. She didn't get to experience very much of life. She had a lot of rules and restrictions on her, and I came in and I blew that all to pieces. Yeah. And I taught her how to allow herself to let loose and live a little bit more, be silly. She couldn't even order at Chipotle 10 years ago. She would have massive anxiety ordering food. And just over the years, I would be like, you gotta order. It's your turn to order. And now she just orders, and it's no big deal. We're gonna keep our drive going because we are gonna head to some coffee. Yeah. So I can get some coffee here. But that's what your relationship should be. We're gonna make a lot of relationship videos, but if you guys aren't helping each other grow, if you guys aren't each other's balance, her strengths are all of my weaknesses, and all of my strengths are her weaknesses. Mm-hmm. And our strengths together, when we combine both of our strengths and they can be, they can collaborate, we do whatever we want. We can achieve anything we put our minds to. That's not the problem. The problem has always been having a cohesive plan and thinking about the future and doing things slowly and doing things properly and not doing things emotionally. But everything that we've ever said that we want to do, we've done. Even with businesses, like, we've started those businesses, we've taken those actions. Not every business is going to work out, not every idea is going to pan out, but it's not for a lack of trying, it's not for we did it. Just things aren't meant for us, and so you move on instead of trying to force it and then you're unhappy. But if you can find the person that is your exact balance and your best friend and you know that you don't need anyone else in the world besides them at the end of the day, you're on the right track to a successful relationship. And you need to find someone who's willing to build with you, guys. And ladies, you need to be willing to build with your man. Stop searching for somebody who already has everything and is already perfect.
Yeah.
You guys need to find partners that you can build an empire together as a team, as a unit. Because that's how you make sure your relationship is strong, by building something together that you both want.
Yeah.
You're on the same page. And this whole time we've been on the same page. It's a little crazy, it's a little wild, but we look at each other and we're like, would we rather be doing this or stuck in a box for the next 30 years? And right now, buying a house and being stuck in a box for the rest of our life doesn't sound very fun.
No.
We don't have kids. We have literally all the time and the freedom to do this. We would love to have kids. If we could, we would even love to adopt kids. But right now, that's not in our cards. And so we need to experience this part of life that we've so desperately wanted to experience, to scratch that itch, to go and see those parts of the country that we want to go to, and just make those memories together before we settle down for the next 30, 40 years of our lives and are in a box, in a house. We just want to finally fulfill that wild spirit inside of us, because for so long we've been trying to, while taking risks, also playing it safe by just having our regular jobs and living in the apartment and, doing all that stuff, chugging away, but not making any sacrifices, not taking any huge risks to make things actually happen. And so that's what we're doing now. That's what this channel is going to be about. Us adventuring together, exploring experiences, getting out of debt, growing together, growing with all of you guys, sharing what you guys are doing in your lives to make your lives fun and exciting and full of adventure, and make sure we're all getting out of debt together and we're able to go slow and be free. Like, this is us. This is us. We, in real life, like in person, most of the time we're quiet. I'm really bad at social interactions. Like, I try. I can get it right every once in a while, but sometimes I feel like it's really clunky and I feel awkward, and we're both introverted. Like, I'd rather just be to myself, and we have a lot going on, so we don't want to like project that on to other people. It's happened, and I'm trying really hard to like keep things under wraps. So for the people in our lives and our day-to-day, if we've been weird, if we've been quiet, if we've been reserved, if we've shared too much, we're sorry. If we're sharing too much, it's because we are really comfortable with you, or else we would not talk to you at all. And if we have been reserved and a little standoffish, it's the same thing. We love you and we respect you, and we don't want to project all of our garbage, so we just stay quiet and to ourselves. It's really hard to manage everything that's happening, because it's a lot, and it's not easy, and it's really taken a toll stress-wise. And I have ego and pride. I'm not perfect, and I have to like get over that and work through some of these things, and it's a process. But we really appreciate you guys watching these videos and supporting us and always being kind. And we're really excited to share all these upcoming adventures with you guys, and all these beautiful places that we went to in Washington that we know of. We want to share those with you, and all those beautiful places in California that we know of. We want to share that with you, and everywhere we go, we want to share it with you guys, because that's what feels the most pure to us, the most authentic, the most real. I'm not trying to sell stuff or a program or buy this, buy that. We just want to share our lives, share our thoughts, our experiences with you guys, and that's it. One time when I did mushrooms, I had this vision of society inside this wall, and I was outside of the walls. And my cousin Jessica appeared, and she came to visit me outside of the walls, just to kind of get perspective on what it's like outside the walls. And she's really smart. She doesn't need any of that. That was just the person that came. That was the person that appeared. It was her. But it was just like, people will come to you to see what life is like outside of the walls of life that we put up around ourselves. And we want to share that, because we know that there's a lot of people that can't do this, or can't travel, or don't have the money or the time, or whatever restrictions it is, whatever it is. We want to be able to be that for you guys, like show you guys all these fun things, have fun together, experience fun things together. You're in this with us too, and we're very, very grateful that you guys are here. I'm gonna get some coffee really quick. We'll see if I'm in a rambling mood when we come back. Got the coffee, extra mile, $2 for a big cup of coffee, and free M&Ms because we have the Extra Mile app. Let's go.
And we got a muffin.
Oh, we got a muffin too. So we forgot to talk about our first road trip together.
First one.
We were 3 months in, 4 months in, 3 months in. Right around there.
Yeah.
But we went to the Grand Canyon. We visited Williams, Arizona. We went to the Crater. And we went to Las Vegas. And if you can go on like a week-long road trip a few months into your relationship, it is a good stress test to see if you guys are compatible. And that was a really big sign for us. It went great. Everything went great.
Yeah.
We had a blast. It was one of the best times ever. Like, that road trip really set the standard for what our relationship would eventually turn into, which is adventuring. Just finding a way to go on adventures and see beautiful places together. What did you think about that road trip from a girl's perspective? 3-4 months in with a new boyfriend.
Yeah, like seemed like it's a good stress test to like see how good you are together. And we even got lost in Vegas trying to find Chipotle.
Which was not very far from our hotel once we found it.
So, you gotta work together to find stuff like that. And it was our first trip, both of us, without like parents there.
Yeah, any parents involved. Friends' parents, our parents, anything, just us two.
Just us two. So that was crazy being in like, especially Vegas. I think it was such a huge place and so many people and a lot of So that was awesome. And then I think it's for a girl, it's just really special to just be with your guy, and it's just you two, and like
it's a good way for you guys to see if you can trust the guy that you're with. Mm-hmm. How he plans things.
Yeah.
How he handles travel. If he's the one that takes charge, or you have to make all the decisions. Mm-hmm. If that's if you like to make all the decisions, and he lets you, then that's good. Or if you both like to make all the decisions, and now you're butting heads. A road trip early on in the relationship really helps to see. Because if that road trip doesn't work, you're probably both wasting your time, and eventually it's gonna end.
Yeah.
So you might as well be like, hey, let's go somewhere for 5 days or however long you guys can on a road trip and have some fun and see what happens.
Yeah, because we knew each other for that year at work.
Yeah.
And we talked and so we obviously became best friends. But when you get to go on a road trip together, you get to kind of have a sneak peek of how it would be to almost live together. And then you're in the car for a really long amount of time. You're in a hotel together. So it's just a really good insight on how you work together. And like you said, the planning, because I'm really bad at planning stuff, but he's amazing at it. And he's really good at booking the hotels or anything like that. And I'm getting better at it, but I was usually a scaredy cat at everything. So he's amazing. So, and then he knows directions really well, which I'm sorry, girls, but I know we're not the best at that. I'm extremely horrible at that, so he's amazing. And yeah, and we took our car, or my car at that time, but Little Blue, and you helped me get that car.
Yep, I helped her get her little Honda Civic. Well, my family's dealership that they own, my uncle helped with that, and my cousin helped get her the car. But that was my dream car, that little Honda Civic that she got, and we took our first road trip in it. That was an extra dream come true for me, because I love that little Honda Civic, and to be able to drive it all around, it was amazing. We've had a lot of cars together. We've had a Mazda 3, my white Mazda 3. We had Little Blue, the Honda Civic, Subi, and now the 4Runner. So 4 cars. We're down. For a while we had 2 cars, but financially it didn't make any sense to have 2 cars, especially when we always get scheduled the same shifts at work together. Yeah. So we brought it down to 1 car, and it works just fine.
And we've been in 1 car for
a long time.
Yeah.
Like 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years.
6 or 7 years.
Since we've been married, yeah.
Yeah, just 1 car. And it works just fine, because we don't like to be without each other, so it doesn't matter.
If we get scheduled to shift not with each other, we either give it away or try to pick up a shift together.
Because that's ridiculous. So. We just make it work.
Yeah.
Other than that, so we were planning, before we moved back from Washington, we were planning on moving up to Seattle and like the Kirkland area,
which is beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Yeah. It's so beautiful. That was the next move. That was our next adventure that we wanted to do, and we were really looking at apartments and really planning it out. But then COVID came, and COVID was a mind beep for everybody. And so the only thing that seemed rational for us was we got to go back home. We were kind of itching to go back home because we watched the Rose Parade every year, and we saw the Rose Parade that year in 2020, and I saw the blue sky, and in Washington it's 8 months of gray. You rarely get to see the sun, and I cracked.
Yeah,
like I just lost it. Yeah, we saw that bright blue sky, and we're like, it might be more expensive, but our mental health and just being closer to family and all that stuff is way more important than being stuck up here all on our own. Horrible weather. The food is, there's some good restaurants, but like it's really not that good most places, and we're spoiled living down here in Southern California.
Yeah.
The food is amazing almost everywhere that you go.
Even fast food, like regular fast food restaurants that you would go to everywhere, if you go there, it tastes different. It's gonna be it's not.
It's bland.
But then when you come here, it's like incredible. So it's like
it's
crazy.
It's because most of the produce and all that stuff is grown in California, so we get it fresher here. And when you have to drive it up to the Pacific Northwest, it's just older food. It's not as fresh, and we didn't realize any of that stuff. You just don't know what you don't know until you know. You know. So that is another big one of our mantras. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know, and we're just trying to figure it out. And to not get mad at ourselves when we don't know something, and just now we know. So if we make the mistake again, and we know, now we can get mad at ourselves and beat ourselves up and all that stuff. But in this process of 10 years, we have grown so much, and it is so much fun to be able to grow up with somebody and watch them grow up and just achieve things together that you think are important or that are big for you, because there's a lot of outside noise. For relationships, another quick relationship tip before we wrap this up: don't listen to the noise of everybody around you, and you're probably going to have a better relationship with the less people that are in your life. Like, the less people you have in your ear giving you their opinions and projecting their fears and insecurities and thoughts onto you and planting damaging seeds that'll ruin a good relationship. It's just you two. At the end of the day, it's just you two, and everybody else's outside voice and opinion is coming from the darkness of their own minds. And a lot of the times, anybody in your life, they will see you happy, they will see you have something that they don't have or are struggling to have, and they will subconsciously or consciously, if they're malicious, they will try to destroy that. No matter if it's a parent, a sibling, anybody in your family, there are people around you that will see you happy, that will see you in love, that will see you chasing after your dreams and what you want out of life, and they will do whatever they can to bring you down. They will do whatever they can to bring it to an end. And because it's just been us two most of the time, and we have very little friends around us, my two best friends are in Idaho, and it's really hard not to love Ashley, but they love her. So that's all that matters. My mom, my grandma, my dad, and my stepmom, they all love her. And so that really helps. Mostly it's Kyle, you better not mess this up. But I know, because I used to have a lot of friends that are girls growing up. So I'm really in tune with how girls think. And if she had friends, like a couple of girlfriends, I don't know if we'd still be together. And that's just an honest truth, because girls are really manipulative, and girls know how to twist stuff around and make people look bad, and they're malicious. It's scary. And a lot of relationships I've been in, it's been the best friend and the other friend's voices, and that get in the head of my girlfriend, or even the other way around. The guy, your friends could be getting in your head about this girl, and they're just jealous, or they just want to be with her, so they're going to say stuff to make you not be with her. People are messed up. And if you want a healthy relationship that lasts a long time, do not listen to anybody, especially if it's good. If things are going really bad, then it's different. Then you might need some outside perspective and somebody to check you and be like, hey, do you know this is what's actually going on? But if you're in a happy, healthy relationship, and you're fulfilled, and you're in love, and all of that, and don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to their negativity, because all they're doing is trying to bring your happiness to an end, because for some reason, that's just what humans do. And I'm so, so grateful that the majority of the time it has just been us two, and we haven't had other people in our ears trying to ruin our relationship.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pee.
Alright, he's back.
I'm back.
But like he was saying, don't listen to the negative people, because if you love that person and you are each other's best friend, and then everything else doesn't matter, because it's all about what you want.
It's all about you two.
Yeah.
Sorry, baby, but
no.
Family will try to make your relationship like it's about the family. And we love our family.
Yeah.
And we respect our family. But your relationship is not about the family. It's about you two. It's about you two starting your own family and creating your own family together on your own. And family is supposed to be there to support you and be there for you if you need them, and to be there on the holidays so we can all get silly together. Other than that, you are with your partner for you, not for anyone else. Anybody else.
Yeah. Really, think about it too. Who are you going to be with every single day and night?
Your partner.
Your partner.
Not your family.
Yeah. And that's what's the most important. You've got to be able to have each other's backs and love each other and be each other's best friend, all of that. Because, family, they can only be so much and do so much for you, but you have to have that person that you want to be with for the rest of your life. So it's been an incredible 10 years. It's gone by so fast.
It does not feel like 10 years.
No.
Make sure it does not feel like 10 years. Make sure you are grasping at making the next 10 years feel like 20 years, because the first 10 years went by so fast.
Yeah.
And just appreciate every single moment you have together, because you don't, like, life is unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen at any moment. And if you're able to find your person, you don't do anything but cherish them in every moment you have together, and don't waste any of life worrying about anything else other than how can we go have fun, how can we go have adventures and experiences, and make life all about that, and not about all the other crap that our minds focus on. And that's not life. Bills is not life. Rent, mortgage is not life. Your debt payments, your school loans, that's not life. Life is outside. Life is experiencing things together.
I would
Building.
even go down to like buying gifts for each other. Like you don't have to do that.
Yeah, we don't buy gifts for each other.
Like
We don't buy birthday presents for each other,
Valentine's Day,
Valentine's Day,
nothing.
none of that stuff. It puts too much pressure, unnecessary pressure on things.
Yeah.
Like, just it creates problems. Minimize things that create problems. It doesn't matter if society says it's Valentine's Day. Every single day is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
The presents that you get each other, it's like, it makes you feel like I need to know, like I want that person to know me, and so like you get this present and you're like, I know them so much, and then you give the present to someone, you're like, they don't know me at all. There's like this whole that sort of thing, but get to know each other with experiences, and don't feel like you're like this weird pressure to give gifts to each other.
Yeah, we go on road trips, we go do stuff. Those are our presents. Those are our Valentine's. Like, we go to the zoo, we go to the aquarium, we go to San Diego, we go to Dodgers games. Those are our gifts. Experiences, going places together, spending our money on that, not on material objects that will get lost, that will get ruined, that aren't going to be fully appreciated how you wanted them to be appreciated. Any of that stuff, when you guys could spend that same exact money going to do something fun. And that has really, really helped. Or we say, for Christmas, we got a 4Runner, and that was our present to each other. That was our present. It's the 4Runner. Stuff like that. When we got the Subi, we got that right around Ashley's birthday. So the Subi was her birthday present. It's just stuff like that. Stop focusing on the little presents all of the time. It creates pressure, it creates arguments and stress and wasted time and wasted money that could be used in so many better ways, like going to have fun together and making memories with each other. And thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this gave you a better insight into who we are, what we're all about, our 10 years together, our perspective on life and relationships, and what we're trying to do and accomplish. We're just trying to make memories together and live in a fun, unorthodox way, do crazy things. We just want to live a full life that feels fulfilling to us, and it may not go with the traditional way of doing things, but that's exactly how we like it.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. We are the untraditional way of doing things. We just want to do things to the beat of our own drum when we want to do it. And that way, at the end of our lives, we don't have any regrets. We didn't say that we didn't try. We won't be able to say we didn't go on those adventures or live in our car for that many years, or we want to do all of that stuff. A full, fulfilled life of everything. And you can't do that when you're playing it safe. You can't do that when you're just getting your apartment and you go to work, or you have your house and then you go to work. And there's so many different ways ways to live life. There's so many options in this world. We live in the greatest country in the world where we are free to do pretty much whatever we want and make our lives whatever we choose to make them. And whatever makes you happy, whatever sets your soul on fire, whatever makes you feel alive, that is what you should be focusing on. And that's what you should be doing, because you can't take your material stuff with you. You can't take your house with you. You can't take all your money with you. You can't take all your stuff with you. You can't. So you're working towards a bunch of things that you can't take with you. I'd rather work on my soul. I'd rather work on my memories. I'd rather work on experiences. And that is just our outlook, our way of life. And we thank you guys so much. If you relate, if you feel the same way about life, if you want the same things out of life, if you want to go on adventures and have experiences and live a life that isn't built around material things, give us a follow. Connect with us. We're here to build a community with you guys and grow and make friends.
Absolutely.
Especially friends that are in relationships and couples that are married, that are our age. I'm 35, she's going to be 31. We just want to build a community, have a network of people. We can all know each other and support each other and go on adventures and experiences together and see this beautiful world together. We love you guys. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye.